It's the sound of Texas 95.9 The Ranch. We are chatting with a man that's going to be at Billy Bob's Texas next month, Saturday, April 22nd. My buddy, Austin Allsup. How are you, bud?
I'm good, Shane. How are you, friend?
Doing great, man. Good to see you again. And, of course, we're here to talk about the show. But
That's
more
right.
importantly, we're talking about new music. Finally.
It's about time.
It's been almost 4 years since that last album came out.
Yeah, it's been kind of in the making and much needed, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of started over at ground zero since COVID and rebuilt the homestead out in Clyde, America, out by Abilene.
Mm-hmm.
So opportunity came up to go up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, a place called the Church Studio, and do some recording, and we ended up recording the whole record, 12 songs in the 5 days that we were there. So we got a whole album out of the deal, and I kind of went in just hoping for an EP or, just a few songs, and everything was shucking and jiving, and so we just kept tracking.
So you literally went to church for this album.
We went to church, yeah.
And this is a cool story just about the studio itself.
It is a cool story.
Leon Russell, Steve Ripley.
Yeah.
This was their joint.
It was their spot, and we actually did an old Leon Russell song that I didn't know my dad had been a part of creating this track. He was doing a show with the Playboys and Asleep at the Wheel in Tulsa, and this is like 1972, 73, somewhere in there, and Leon Russell had come up to the show and said, "Hey, Tommy, why don't you come back to the house after your set and after y'all get done?" So Dad went over there, and it's when he had his studio in his basement, and he was working on the Will o' the Wisp album, and Dad and him cut that Down on Deep River track. And so we're flying Dad's solo out of that track into our track. We did it to the same BPM and same key so that we could do that. And, man, I think it's going to turn out cool. It's kind of a little tribute to Dad and Leon Russell. And, I love doing swing, but I hadn't cut a swing. I'm closer to cutting an old Leon Russell tune than I am an old Bob Wills song, so that was a lot of fun doing that. But, yeah, we got 12 great songs, I think,
Yeah, you sent me an early copy where I could listen to. I mean, it was still scratch vocals, and you knew there was some magic in this thing,
well,
man.
Thanks,
and,
man.
I mean, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, but I think this is, from what I hear, this is the Austin Allsup album we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
it really
I appreciate
is.
that, man. I feel that way. I still haven't even listened to it since, it's still getting mixed right now. So the same tracks that you're listening to is what I've had, so I quit listening immediately.
Right. You want to hear the mastered product.
Yeah, but I am. I mean, I've never really been able to sit through all my roughs, and actually enjoy some of the songs until
you critique yourself
yeah,
too much.
just so hardcore. But on this one, it feels like there's some kind of, I don't know, something natural about it. So it's able to grab my ear a little easier. I hope it does everybody else's too.
We're going to chat some more. I want to hear a song from you.
Yeah.
Can we, a little sample of what's on this new album?
Yeah.
What do we got?
You were saying you really like that tune Let Down Love that I wrote with a friend of mine, Nolan, Neal.
Yeah.
I met Nolan when I was on The Voice, and honestly, we were all like, well, Nolan's got this thing, he's going to win it all.
Right.
He's just incredible singer, and anyway, he let his head get the best of him, and he didn't last real long on there, and then went on to almost win that America's Got Talent show. He was a singer in that band Hinder for a while, and anyway, Nolan passed away last year, and from a fentanyl overdose, and this is one of the 2 songs that I completed with Nolan, and I've really re-recorded this thing I don't know how many times, and just now kind of settled into what we ended up with, and I think it's a great tune, man. I wish he could hear it, you know what I'm saying? But it's called Let Down Love. I don't want to say goodbye, and I don't want to have to think twice about giving us one more try. And I don't want to make you leave, then watch you walk away from me. I can't let a broken heart bleed dry. If we fall any harder, we run any farther, where we're bound to crash. Lord knows I can't move that fast. Run while you still can. Find yourself a good man. I can't give you up, but I don't want to let down love. I don't want to see you around, hanging with our old crowd. Maybe I should get out of this town. And I can't give you love, all the kind you've been dreaming of, but I can't give enough right now. If we fall any harder, we run any farther, where we're bound to crash. Oh, I don't want to move that fast. Run while you still can. Find yourself a good man. I can't give you up, but I don't want to let down love. But I don't want to let down love. I don't want to let down love. If we fall any harder, we run any farther, where we're bound to crash. Lord knows I can't move that fast. Round while you still can. Find yourself a good man. I can't give you up, but I don't want to let down love.
Austin Allsup with us on the ranch, man. And you sent me those songs, and I told you, you were like, what do you like, that kind of thing. And I sent you a couple that I thought were radio kind of singles. But that was the song. There was something about that song that you reached a whole different level on, and then you told me the story of losing your friend, and I realized where all that passion came from, man. So you said you I'm going to cry. You said that you wish Nolan could hear that song. He was right here, dude.
Yeah.
He was. He's singing through you on that.
Thanks, Shayne.
That's amazing,
I appreciate
man.
that,
That's
man.
like, those moments is what captures an audience and makes people love Austin Allsup. When you do that right there, what you just did, unreal, man. I cannot wait to hear the mastered version of that.
Man, me and you both.
Yeah. So anyways, April 22nd, Billy Bob's Texas. Austin's going to be there. Now, we'll talk about this.
We got happy songs, too.
Yeah, you do. That Sawdust Tornado, which is the first single, title track of the album. It's March 31st, I believe, is what we're shooting for.
Yeah, that's when it's going to hit iTunes and Spotify, all that good stuff, Apple Music.
And, yeah, so that will be good.
And I think that's when it hits radio. We just got it to you a little early.
We're not like regular radio, so it works. Now, you had a couple of co-writers, I understand, on this album as well. Some folks that Ranch fans really love.
Yeah, we buddy Cody Jinks did a song called Holy Water on a record called Lifers, and I think he put it on his Red Rocks live record. But yeah, I finally recut that or did a cut of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going on the record. Super excited to get that one done. Also wrote a couple tunes with Adam Hood, who we all love.
Love Adam.
Yeah, I started this tune, and it was it's like I was making a deal. I got stuck in a pickle, and something about being out in Birmingham, Alabama, and I said, shoot, I need to send this to Adam. You know what I mean? So I sent it to him, and he came up with the second verse and part of the chorus.
To be a fly on the wall and listen to Austin Allsup and Adam Hood talk to each other.
Hey, man.
You know,
I
your
guarantee
accent
you that fly would have a southern drawl by the time he flew off that wall.
Right? It's like watching an episode of Moonshiners. Yeah, that guy, man, that guy is so unbelievable. Such a great songwriter and
really
written
is.
songs for so many amazing artists.
Yeah.
For sure. That had to be fun to get to
It
do
was
that.
a lot of fun. We've known each other for a long time, but there's just certain cats that you admire, you know, their writing styles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And McClure was Mike McClure was always kind of my go-to, my mentor, and would produce my records with me, you know, and so I never really had to go anywhere looking for a co-writer when I had McClure hanging around. So on this record, I was like, you know what can I do a little different? So
You did a lot of things different on this album.
Yeah,
you kind of
we
did it yourself, really.
Yeah, produced it. We brought in some horn players that still play with the Bob Wills Texas Playboys
cool.
band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in the trombone player and trumpet player and put a choir on the record. I'm part of that choir. So, yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff. It's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more groovy than anything else I've done, for sure.
It really is.
Which is kind of what I really am at heart. I'm kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I grew up singing Southern gospel.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm kind of a rootsy, funky dude when it comes to feel good songs. I think we got a lot of that on this record. So
You're kind of all over the map.
it's kind of all
Austin.
over
You
the
really
place.
are. And and this album reflects, you know, your different kinds of loves of different types of music. And I think that's the cool thing about that.
Well,
and that's the neat
as
thing
long as
about
it's
even
not
this
a reflection of my inner self.
Right. You got some demons still, Austin?
Man, I'm
also?
fighting them back. I'm fighting them back, Shayne.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of folks probably, you know, don't know completely your story. You kind of went through some rough patches as a kid too.
Yeah, still going through them at times, I guess. But yeah,
Are we
it
all,
was
though?
it was funky. My dad was a professional musician, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't meet until I was, you know, I got in trouble in high school. I got locked up my senior year. I missed out on being a senior in high school, but I also got to and build a relationship through that kind of turmoil that I was going through. So, you know, we developed a relationship, and I went on the road with him and the Bob Wills band, and he got my feet wet in Western swing, and then you know, the rest is kind of history. But yeah, it's you know, I think a lot of the highlights of who I am come from the darkness of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Some of the
So
best
it's all right.
songwriters, I mean, that's the reason they write such good songs. You just got to have that ability to open up and share that with people.
Yeah,
And that's probably
I
the
sat
hardest
through
thing.
enough therapy sessions. I can pretty much fill the room up and we can talk. It's okay, you know.
Your therapist was another songwriter. He
Yeah.
goes by the name Chris Stapleton. He's written a couple of songs too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine your therapist is just like, good Lord, please go write a song.
Yeah, are you doing anything to get this out?
Yeah.
What kind of exercises are
You
we doing?
need something, definitely. Yeah, it's an interesting story about your dad. I mean, just a freaking musical legend. You were doing some, you know, music, you know, gospel stuff, singing in
Yeah.
the church choir before that, and then you go on the road with your dad. And when you saw that and realized like all the respect of all these artists that you know had for him, was it like, that's why I love music?
Yeah, and I think it was just the fact that no matter what was going on, once all the guys were on stage and they were in their element, it really didn't matter what else was going on
Mm-hmm.
in their personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there was a lot of times I knew my dad was going through stuff and this and that, but it's like it all faded away once they got on stage, you know, and that was kind of where I was with music my whole life. It was my escape, you know, writing poetry at a young age and later realizing that I was just beginning to write songs, you know, but Yeah, I think it's an escape for a lot of people. Definitely for my dad and a lot of those guys, you know, that are so great they find themselves in you know, just a lot of crazy situations in their life, and they know when they're on stage together that situation's okay.
Like that's the one we're striving for.
Yeah. So
you spend all those hours in a van to get to those moments.
Yeah, all the phone calls and emailing and hours on the road and all for an hour and a half, you know.
Yeah, right. But, and hopefully that's in a good hour and a half.
That's right. That's right.
And they pay you at the end of the night sometimes.
That's true. That's why I haven't been back to Laredo. You know, amongst other reasons. But,
unless there's anybody in Laredo tonight that would like to book Austin also. So
pay me the $400 you still owe me.
Right. God, I didn't know you got paid that much. I'm gonna go into music.
That was back when I was laying tile just to tell my wife I was making enough money on the weekends, you know, to Oh no, babe, we're making it. We're doing something
to do
good
this
here.
thing. Yeah, you know, I've known you a long time. There were some points in your life where it was like, am I going to keep doing this music thing?
Yeah.
Because, man, it's a hard road. And then
when you're trying to have a family too, you know.
And then you go on a TV show and instantly millions of people know who Austin Allsup is. That's got to just be surreal, man. Like, is that a little overwhelming for a person?
It was a little bit. I think the fact that I had such good friends, you know, Sundance he was my roommate for months on end out there. So, and he had a wife and kids back home. You know, I think if I'd have not had some of the support from other guys that were kind of like feeling guilty about being in Los Angeles for 5 months and hanging out and shooting TV shows while your wife and kids are back home, you know, wondering what the heck's going on, you know, it would have been a lot
don't really
worse.
Know,
yeah. I mean, it's everything's up in the air each week.
Yeah,
you know. So
I don't know how Chelsea handles that, man.
She ended up quitting her job. I know that. And she got it back.
Yeah. That goes away.
Oh gosh.
His name is Austin Allsup. He's playing Billy Bob's Texas on Saturday, April 22nd. The new album, March 31st. Man, it's always a pleasure getting to hang out with you, buddy.
Thank you, Shayne.
It is.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all the support through the years.
It's been a long. I was thinking about this the other day when we were talking about you coming in and chatting. It was Stephenville, Texas, I believe, and you walked in with Mike McClure, and I was like, "Who is this tall dude? Like, why is this? Like, I thought you were like bodyguard for Mike at the time." And then you started singing. I was like, "Okay, Mike, thanks, bud."
Funny story. Your dad hid me out on a bus at Melody Mountain Ranch. Mike was playing. Remember that band, the Dead Ringers?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot this story.
And I mean,
there was almost
Mike was firing his bass player at the time, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And bad idea, but he told him before they played.
Yeah.
So
Mike didn't always make the best decisions, let's be honest.
So this dude takes his bass and is like knocking over the cymbal stands of Waldo's drums. Like over. And Mike's like, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. So Mike plays like a song or two. Band gets off the stage, and it has like those two side stage deals.
Yeah.
I see Mike walk to the other side, and I'm over there like shooting Hot Damn or Jaeger or something with the Dead Ringer kids, and
literal kids,
literally.
Yeah.
And I look across the stage, and I see Mike like throwing fists, and then I see a leg come out of nowhere and kicks Mike, you know, and he's like, ooh, goes back. So I run across the stage. I go to grab this bass player up, proceed to whooping on him, and a bouncer grabs me by the shoulder, and I turned around. I thought somebody was trying to get me. Boop! Hit him, and all hell breaks loose. So fights break out everywhere. Your dad's like, Austin, get in here. Gets me, I'm like out in the grass or something. I'm all upset because I knew I pissed Mike off, even though I was just trying to save him from this evil bass player. Mike, you don't fight. Let me fight for you, you know?
Right.
So anyway, your dad's like, get your butt up here. Pulls me up on this bus. And he's like, don't get off here. You just sit right here till it's all over. I'm like, all right, okay. See, I thought I was in detention. He was just saving me, you know? So, man, I still haven't lived that down. I'm like, Mike, when are you going to admit you started this whole deal? There you go, still mad at me.
I saw it. It was Mike. That was one of the wildest scenes I'd ever seen in my life, man. It was like an episode of the Blues Brothers.
I mean,
yeah.
I had driven my mom's car. I was only like 18 or 19. Drove my mom's car out there, and some fight broke out. They busted out a window in my mom's car. I mean, there was fights breaking out everywhere. I'm like, oh, so this is Stephenville. I grew up in Arkansas. I just thought somebody brought me back home.
Right.
You know, I didn't
It was
know
a
what
family
going on.
reunion.
So
And, you know, it seemed to always happen at Dead Ringer shows. Is what it was.
that hot damn and Jaeger they were passing around.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah, that's a little rough.
Goodness gracious.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Austin.
Yeah, you're welcome. Way to end on a good note, huh?
No, man, I've been a fan of yours for a long time. You're doing good things. I'm glad you put out this new album.
Thank
Did it your way. It's the way it needs to be done. It
Thank
really
you.
does,
Like
man.
Elvis
Best, yeah, exactly.
did it my way.
Yeah. You need a cape. I just figured
I got one.
I figured this deal out. Yeah. So again, Saturday, April 22nd. Tickets available. BillyBobsTexas.com. Austin, man, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks,
we
Shayne.
appreciate you. And let's play the new single. This is Sawdust Tornado on the Ranch.